And we're live.
Hello, Grace Point Youth and Youthettes. So, if you don't know, these are called Frisbees. Jamie is going to be my partner here, and I'm going to teach her how to throw a basic forehand, or a backhand, sorry, and then a forehand throw. So first we'll start with the backhand. Typically, what you want to do is you want 4 fingers underneath and your thumb on top. For this though, when you throw, most people think you're throwing with your arm. And it is a little part of the factor. It's not the whole thing. Your arm is more of the guide. Your wrist is what causes the speed, the rotation. So right now we're just going to practice the little wrist rotation. So with your family member, you'll just get it and you bend your wrist just slightly, and then as you rotate your wrist, you want to open your fingers. Then we can move to bending your elbow slightly. You bring your arm back this way. Most people when they throw, they tuck their wrist or the frisbee's up against their arm. You don't want to do that. It's just a slight bend. And then as you bring your arm forward, you open your fingers and you snap your wrist. The wrist is what causes the rotation of the frisbee. It gives it more power and allows you to throw it farther. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is the forehand. The way you want to hold it is a matter of preference. I use both, but the best way to get it into position to throw the forehand is you make a backwards L, put the lip of the frisbee on the inside of your middle finger, and then you just turn it over slightly. So with this one, with this throw, your wrist naturally likes to turn over, so you need to hold the frisbee at an angle just slightly. So when you come forward, your wrist will automatically rotate over. If you hold it flat, your wrist is going to turn and your frisbee is going to go sideways, and it's going to look like this, flying through the air. And this one is literally just a snap of the wrist. Snap of your wrist. So my assistant Jamie is going to show you. Is to hold your elbow here next to your side and just snap your wrist. Alright, so most people when they throw, for me I have a preference where I keep my pointer finger out. It just makes it a little bit more stable for me. Feels a little bit more comfortable. Most people though, when they play, they use both up for a power throw if you're going to throw it really far, but that's not really necessary. For this video, I'm going to teach you how to throw it at an angle, the backhand and the forehand. So for your backhand, if you're going to throw it at an angle, instead of throwing it straight at your target like you would just a regular frisbee, instead of holding it flat, you're going to hold it at an angle. The more of an angle you put it and the more you throw it out, the more it's going to cut. So you don't really need too much, just a slight angle, and when you come across, you're going to throw just slightly to the right or to the left, depending on if you're right or left-handed, of your target. So when you throw it, it's going to go out and then it's going to hook back. So for people like Josh that like to bowl, it's basically like your hook shot. For your forehand, you're going to hold it up at an angle, and it's still snapping your wrist, but you're going to throw it out. Instead of coming across your body, you're going to throw it out to your right or to your left, depending on if you're left or right handed. Alright, so this throw is called a hammer throw. You're going to hold it like you do your forehand. Like I said, for me, I hold it like this. So for this one, it's above your head at an angle. So when you throw it, it's the snap of your wrist. Your arm is just the guide. For all these throws, your arm is the guide. The wrist is where your power comes from. So when you throw it and you snap your wrist, the disc will actually fly at an angle, level out, and then it'll teeter back. It looks really cool. That was good.
Ow.
So this next throw that I'm going to talk about is called a chicken wing. It looks really funny when you throw it, like your arm and stuff, but it looks really cool when it flies. So what you do is you take the lip of the disc and you just stick it in between your pointer finger and your thumb, like so. So your thumb will be on the bottom and your four fingers will be on top. When you hold it at an angle, and it's going to be back behind you. And so what you do with this throw is it's snap of the wrist, but your arm, like I said, for the throw is just a guide. Your wrist is where all the power comes from. So when you bring your arm forward, you snap your wrist real hard and open your fingers and just let it fly.